Hello again, this is Sam Houston, and welcome to My Front Porch. Maybe an old dog can learn new tricks. As the years keep passing by, I've begun to appreciate how much change I've experienced in my life. It's funny how change sort of sneaks up on a fella and how sometimes a person does not really realize the change is taking place until it's happened and the new has replaced the old way of doing things. When I was little and would visit my grandparents, there was only one TV channel, and the reception was very poor during the daylight hours. Only when the sun went down would the picture start to clear up and a viewer could finally see clearly what was on the air. There was a fair amount of time spent adjusting the rabbit ears, trying to get a better picture, and the effort was met with varying results and a mixed amount of frustration. Though I loved spending time on the farm with my grandparents, because there was no access to the shows and events that I would normally watch on TV, it always made things seem a little out of sorts. With little to no television, I'd end up spending time hulling peas with Grandma or whittling under the big maple tree with Granddad. We could receive 3 stations at home, so cutting down to one part-time channel was a big adjustment. The bright spot was I did learn to love that time with the grandparents, even without the TV. When cable TV finally became available, it was a game changer. Suddenly, there were 12 or more channels to watch, and there seemed like there was always something good on the air. Currently, I subscribe to a service which has 23 million channels, or so it seems, and there's never anything good on. Way back when, I don't remember realizing that I no longer had to mess with the rabbit ears. They simply became inconsequential. The lack of channels and the problems with reception became nothing more than faint memories. Anyone remember what life was like before microwaves? Once upon a time, the measurement of a good cook was how they could keep a meal warm without drying it out. Then suddenly, one day the microwave was invented, and we were warming up everything in an instant, popping popcorn and melting cheese on demand. It gave rise to the host of microwavable products, and the old mainstay of peanut butter and jelly lost its allure. Technology and innovation create changes in how we live our lives, how we function, and how we solve problems. When in the middle of monumental change, we frequently fail to sit back and recognize what is happening and how. This week, it hit me right between the eyes. I've been asked to speak to a rather large group of young students in the upcoming week. I wanted to prepare something which included some visual images to help maintain their attention and do better to illustrate the message I was hoping to convey. I was explaining my quest to one of my co-workers, and they suggested that AI could create such a project for me in a very short period of time. I took the suggestion, and in less than 5 minutes, I had a 20-minute lecture designed specifically to be directed at an audience of children, which included visual images. Wow! I was overwhelmed. The presentation was well written, the video images were pertinent and purposeful, and the entire document was laid out well and meaningfully. I had managed to save hours of time and created exactly what I wanted, better than I could have if I'd have created it myself after expending hours upon hours of time. It took the Industrial Revolution 100 years to gain full force, and when it did, it changed the world from an agrarian society to an industrial one. The AI revolution is going to take a much shorter period of time. I'm guessing less than 5 years, and it'll change how we live our lives. There may be huge debates over the best use of AI, or what safeguards need to be placed on its use, and when is the appropriate time for it to be utilized. But rest assured, a significant, monumental change is taking place, and it will forever change the world we live in. We won't be moving the rabbit ears any longer. The future is here and moving faster than most of us can imagine. Hold on. Thought for the day. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. Until next time, I'll keep riding the storm out.
You've been listening to From My Front Porch with Sam Houston, brought to you by the Granbury Theater Company. You can catch Sam's column every week in the print edition of the Hood County News or online at hcnews.com.